This is the Capital One Venture X. This is the recently revamped Chase Sapphire Reserve. And this is also the recently refreshed American Express Platinum. And if you were to hold all three of these cards, you would pay close to $2,000 a year just in annual fees. However, these cards are also the absolute undisputed heavyweights in the top tier travel card category with countless luxury benefits. Yet, there can only be one amongst all of them that is the absolute best. And that is what we're going to find out in today's video. Which of these cards is the #1 travel card in 2026? Will it be the all-arounder from Capital One? Or the recently refreshed luxury contender from Chase? Or does it fall to the old money favorite, the American Express? And we're gonna compare all of the cards in the following sections: their sign-up bonus, their earnings, their benefits, and their annual fees. And at the very end, we'll tally up the scores, and I will also give you my final verdict as well as recommendations. So if that sounds like a plan, pop a squat, tap the thumb icon, and let's get into it. Section 1, sign-up bonus. For the Capital One Venture X, the current sign-up bonus is to earn 75,000 miles after you spend $5,000 within the first 3 months. A quick note, Capital One calls their points miles, but they're not like airline miles. They're the same thing as points. They just don't call them points. Now, as for the sign-up bonus, this has kind of been the sign-up bonus for a pretty long time now. Other than when it launched, it's sat at 75,000, which in this range isn't something I'm really writing home about, but it's not something I'm running away from. All right, let's look at the other cards. The Chase Sapphire Reserve currently offers a sign-up bonus where you're gonna earn 125,000 points after you spend $6,000 within the first 3 months. This, I really, really like. Any sign-up bonus that's at 100,000 or above, especially in this card category, I would certainly look to jump on. And as for the American Express Platinum, there's actually 2 bonuses currently out there. So one is publicly available, anyone can find it, and it's just gonna give you 80,000 points after you spend $8,000 within the first 6 months. However, there is a way more elevated non-public offer, honestly probably one of the highest I've seen in recent times, going as high as 175,000 points for the same $8,000 of spend within the first 6 months. The only catch is with that offer, you actually have to be able to find a working link because it's non-public and it's really personalized to the applicant. Thankfully, since you follow me, I actually do have a working link to that offer down below. Again, I don't know how long these things stick around for. They typically offers that go this high don't stick around for forever. So if you're considering it, feel free, check it out in the description box down there. And a quick pro tip, folks, with the American Express Platinum, if you're considering jumping on this all-time high elevated offer, you should actually consider also getting the American Express Gold first. The reason being, if you get the American Express Platinum in the bonus, you would be ineligible to get the American Express Gold in its sign-up bonus. And right now, the American Express Gold similarly has this public bonus where it's just like 60,000 points after 6K spend in 6 months. But there's a way more elevated non-public offer that's getting you as high as 100,000 points for the same amount of spend. You couldn't get that if you got the platinum. However, if you get the gold first and then the bonus, you can also then get the platinum and its bonus. I know it's a little bit wonky, but these are the rules, and I want you to consider this if you have never had either card. So wrapping up the sign-up bonus section. Coming in third is gonna be the Capital One Venture X. 75,000 points is just like, it's okay. Not really writing home about this. If I have to, I would, but maybe I might look elsewhere first. Now, for second and first though, it's really, really close. I really like that with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, it's guaranteed you are gonna get the 125,000 points, at least as of the filming and editing of this video. It might have changed when I release it, and if it has changed, obviously it's gonna change the ranking, but I love that it's guaranteed 125. However, I also love the fact that with American Express Platinum, you can get way higher, going as high as 175,000, and you're not committed to applying if you don't get the 175. And so this will be a little bit of bias as me as the reviewer, but I am willing to take more shots to try to get that 175,000 points. And so I give second to the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then I will give first to the American Express Platinum. Section 2, earnings. For the Capital One Venture X, you're gonna earn 10x if you book hotel or car rental through the Capital One travel portal, 5x for flights and vacations booked through the Capital One travel portal, and 2x for all other purchases. Honestly, kind of love that. Bit of a set it and forget it card. I don't know where to put it. You know what? I'm gonna get 2x as a base catch-all. And to give you perspective, guys, 2x cashback, even like on like a standard cashback card, phenomenal. Now let's talk about the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You'll get 8x for any purchases through the Chase travel portal, 4x for any flights that you book direct with airlines, 4x for hotels that are booked directly, 3x on dining worldwide, and 1x on all other purchases. Now, as a travel card, I'd love this. We've got flights, we've got hotels covered, and then we've got dining anywhere. But then what about other things you spend on when you travel? I don't know, like Ubers or trains. Yeah, they used to have a 3x travel category that got wiped, which is kind of a bummer. But these elevated categories are where people are probably spending most money when they travel, so maybe it kind of just balances out. And now let's talk about the American Express Platinum. You'll earn 5x for flights that you book direct or through Amex Travel, 5x for prepaid hotels that are booked through Amex Travel, and 1x on all other purchases. Honestly, yawn, nothing. This is boring. I can't believe the refreshed American Express Platinum did nothing with their earnings categories. Now let's talk about how we would rank this. Coming in third place for the earnings category, American Express Platinum by a long bottom third. Coming in second is the Capital One Venture X, because this card, at the end of the day, 2x catch-all, I just love it. I don't have to think about it. And taking the top spot for earnings is still gonna be the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Even though it lost that 3x on travel, I love the elevated for flights and hotel that you can just go book directly with them without having to go through a travel portal. Section 3. Benefits. Here is really the kind of meat and potatoes of the entire video where these cards separate out considerably. However, because they're all kind of top tier travel cards, they also have a lot of similar benefits. So what I'm gonna do first is just talk about all the benefits that they all mostly have, so we don't have to repeat ourselves. So here are some of the common benefits across the cards. 1, they all have transfer partners, which basically just means that you can take the currency of that credit card from Capital One or Chase or American Express and transfer it to one of their airline or hotel partners. Now, the exact partners in which they have slightly vary. In some, you could argue are maybe more valuable than others, but in general, they give you this flexibility, and this is really, really important if you want to get the most bang for buck from your points and miles. The other shared benefit that all of these cards have is they give you lounge access via the Priority Pass program. Priority Pass it's a huge collection of global airport lounges. A lounge in an airport is someplace you can just go and chill, have a drink, maybe some Wi-Fi, do some work before your flight. And Priority Pass honestly gets passed around. Which means everyone has it. And so it's really not that special, especially in the US. So in the later section, we're gonna go over some of the more unique lounge benefits unique to each individual card, where you might be able to get more or less value from versus just Priority Pass, which again, pretty much every luxury travel card has. Another common benefit they all have is a credit to global entry or TSA PreCheck, which is kind of just VIP entry back into the US, or not having to take a lot of your stuff off as you go through TSA. And the last one, obviously this is kind of a given, none of them have any foreign transaction fees. All right, so those are kind of the big shared benefits that I want to call out. Now let's go into the individual card benefits for you to note. First up, we have the Capital One Venture X. And the first set of benefits we'll talk about are the credits this card offers. So the card offers a $300 travel credit that you can use to redeem for travel through the Capital One travel portal every single year. In addition, the card also gives you a $100 anniversary credit in the form of 10,000 miles every single year just for holding the card. The next set of benefits is going to be lounge benefits. Again, this is in addition to the Priority Pass we talked about earlier. So Capital One actually runs their own lounges around the country in the form of Capital One lounges. And currently there are 5 locations. In addition, they have this really unique thing called Capital One Landings, where they partner with a celebrity chef. I believe his name is Jose Andres? Someone can correct me. And so it's a bit more of a, I'd see it as a curated lounge experience where you actually go and have a sit-down meal from a Michelin-starred chef. Currently, there's only 1 location in the US, but they're gonna add another one, and as a Capital One Venture X cardholder, you have access to this. In the remaining benefits, I group into kind of the other/travel category. So it gives you primary auto rental insurance. You also get Hertz Presence Circle automatic, which honestly, I love this as a feature. I used to sleep on this because I didn't rent a lot, but now that I do, it's amazing to either get the category upgrade or be able to choose a rental car from the Presence Circle lot. And the card also gives you cell phone protection. So if your phone is damaged or stolen, you can file a claim for up to $800, and you can file up to 2 claims within a 12-month calendar period. Overall, when it comes to benefits from the Capital One Venture X, it doesn't have the laundry list that the other 2 cards are gonna have. We'll talk about in a bit, but also I guess it is simplistic, right? It kind of goes with the, hey, it's just a 2x earning card, and we're not just throwing every little thing we can at you to see if we can get it to stick. So I guess there's 2 sides to it not having a lot. One is it's simple, but then the other, I guess, is like, maybe there could be a little bit more. Well, we'll go ahead and keep talking. Next up, we have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Similar to the Capital One Venture X, we're gonna talk about the credit benefits its lounge benefits, and its other/travel benefits. So, the credits that the Chase Sapphire Reserve gives you. You'll receive a $500 credit to book hotels through the Edit program. You must book a 2-night minimum. The card also offers a $300 dining credit, which on the surface, I love that. However, it can only be used as $150 in the first half and $150 in the second half for Chase Reserve tables. And here's a list of where the Reserve tables are. I took a look in Boston. There are only 8 restaurants on the list. So although it's called a dining credit, I would say it's like more of a Chase Reserve table dining credit, because 8 restaurants is kind of crazy. It really is forcing your hand. A $300 DoorDash credit that comes as $25 per month. However, it has to be used as a $5 credit for restaurants, and then a separate $10 credit for grocery or retail orders, and then another $10 order for groceries or retail. And so it's 300, then it's 25, and then it's 5, 10, 10. That's actually just beyond annoying. A $300 travel credit, which can just be used as one go and then saving credit. Absolutely love this. A $300 StubHub credit as $150 in the first half, $150 in the second half. A $250 Apple TV credit, but it cannot be used for family plans. A $120 Peloton credit as $10 a month, and then a $120 Lyft credit as $10 a month. Now let's talk about the lounge benefits. With Chase, similar to Capital One, they also have their own lounges called the Sapphire Lounges around the country. Specifically, there are 6 domestically and 1 internationally over in Hong Kong. In addition, with Chase, you also get access to Air Canada's Maple Leaf lounges. So these are the business class lounges from Air Canada. And for us, there's 3 domestic and 17 international. And to access it, all you need to do is 1, have the Chase Sapphire Reserve and flying on a Star Alliance carrier. And now let's talk about the other/travel benefits. This card also gets primary auto rental insurance. It will give you automatic IHG Platinum status, which is kind of IHG's mid-tier status, which could make you eligible for status upgrades. And if you spend $75,000 a year on the Sapphire Reserve, you'll get IHG Diamond status, which is their top tier status, Southwest A-list status, a $500 Southwest credit that can only be used for booking Southwest via Chase Travel, and a $250 credit to the shops via Chase. If I'm looking at what the Sapphire Reserve is doing, it's a lot. It's almost too much. It used to really just have the $300 travel credit, and that was it. It now threw on all these other credits. The problem I'm having is the credits are kind of really a lot of work. The one that really stands out to me is the DoorDash one, where it's $300 a year, $25 a month, but within the $25 a month, which would have been fine, it's 5, 10, 10 across 2 similar categories and 1 different one. It's kind of just like well, okay, like you're really kind of trying to tell me like you don't actually want me to be able to use this because, you know, if we don't use it, they make money. So I don't know, it's a tough sell, I would say for sure. I love the Sapphire Lounges, they're great, but also you spend $75,000 with Chase and you get elite status with Southwest? Now let's talk about the benefits of the American Express Platinum. Similarly, we're gonna review its credits, its lounge access, and other/travel benefits. So the first set of credits that the American Express offers: a $600 hotel credit that can be used as $300 in the first half and $300 in the second half to book hotels that are part of either Fine Hotels and Resorts or the Hotel Collection. Fine Hotels and Resorts, there is no nightly minimum. With Hotel Collection, there is a 2-night minimum to book. However, if you book either of these, they automatically are giving you things like breakfast, upgrades, and a $100 stay credit. So when you're on property, they give you a little credit that you can use for various resources. You'll get a $400 Resi credit that is gonna come in the form of $100 per quarter that can be used at any restaurant that is on Resi. As long as you show up, use your American Express Platinum, it's gonna go ahead and credit the card. Or I guess in theory, you could also just show up and buy takeout and dip as well. A $300 digital entertainment credit, that's $25 a month, that can be used for these services here. A $300 Lululemon credit that can be used only as $75 per quarter, which honestly is a little bit annoying, but I'm gonna tell you right now, probably a way in which you could probably slot a gift card in there and get that credit. Even though it says in the T's and C's, no gift cards, I would be surprised. Keep an eye on that. But the second thing you definitely can do is purchase from Lululemon, return for a store credit, because Lululemon definitely would love to keep your money. You return the item, they give you a store credit, you wait, do another quarter, do another quarter, do another quarter, boom, you have $300 of store credits, you're off on your way. You can buy your one single item without having to kind of have the overages go on different cards, so on and so forth. So there's definitely a way to go ahead and get the value from this credit. A $200 Uber cash credit, 15 bucks a month and $25 in December, a $200 airline incidental credit, a $200 Aura Ring credit, a $150 Walmart Plus credit that comes as $12.95 a month, a $120 Uber One credit that's specific for you to purchase an Uber One membership, and then a $100 Saks credit. That's $50 in the first half, $50 in the second half. Now let's talk about lounges. This card crushes it with lounges. So with American Express Platinum, you'll get access to their award-winning Centurion lounges. There are 15 of them domestically and there are 10 internationally. I would argue domestically, if you can get into these, some of the best lounges hands down. You'll also get access to Delta Sky Club lounges and there's over 50 locations. All you need to do is be flying Delta. In addition, you get 10 of these passes a year. You get access to escape lounges. There are 17 of these domestically and 7 international. You'll also get access to Lufthansa lounges, which I believe there are about 6 domestically and there's a lot more internationally. And to get access, you need to be flying in some class of cabin with the Lufthansa Group airlines, which are Lufthansa, Swiss, and Austrian Air. And last but not least, you get access to Plaza Premium Lounges where they have a footprint of over 250. Now let's talk about the other / more travel benefits. So automatically with the Platinum, you can enroll in having Marriott Gold status as well as Hilton Gold status, which is kind of that mid-tier category. In the US, not that useful. Abroad, you might be able to squeeze some upgrades here or there. You also get Leader Club Sterling status, which if you stay at one of their group hotels, that actually qualifies you for sweet upgrades off rip. You also get Elite status at Avis, Hertz, and National Car Rental. So for Avis and National, it's their mid-tier status that you're gonna get. And for Hertz, similar to the Venture X, it's the President Circle top tier status you get. And for spending $75,000 a year on the card, you'll be able to get Centurion guest access where you can bring 2 guests for free. And you're gonna unlock unlimited Delta Sky Club Lounge access. The card also comes with cell phone protection where it's $800 a claim with a $50 deductible. And you can make 2 claims within a 12-month period. And the last one to call out, this card offers you purchase protection. Basically, it means if you purchase an item and within 90 days, the item is stolen, damaged, or lost, you can file a claim for up to $10,000. You can file a max of $50,000 a claim within a year. When I look at the benefits from the American Express Platinum, years ago, it was a bloated coupon book. And I was like, oh man, these are kind of a pain in the ass to use. Today, with it being completely refreshed and revamped and the additional credits and benefits they've added on, this is a very valuable proposition. For example, that $400 Resi credit, it's just $100 a quarter, which, oh, kind of annoying, you have to remember it. But as long as the restaurant is part of Resi, you just go and show up. And if you really don't want to just have to sit down, you can just go and purchase takeout. In addition, Lululemon credit, kind of annoying that it's $75 a quarter. But if you know how to play it right, you could get that as Stir credit. You might be able to get it as a gift card and then you can kind of stack it, buy it, and go. And so even though American Express Platinum has thrown in a ton more credits, in my honest opinion, I think you could probably extract more value from it. Now, there are still some that are annoying, like the Walmart Plus credit. Like personally, like I'm not doing that. The airline incidental credit takes a lot of work to really be able to pull value from. Again, it would be nice if it was just an airline credit. But overall, as we're looking at a luxury top tier travel card, the Platinum, when it comes to lounge access, undisputed king. Centurion lounges, any given day, I'm pulling up. I'm having a good meal, a good rest before my flight. So as it comes to ranking these cards based on their benefits, coming in and at 3rd place, this one might be a shocker. I'd actually put the Chase Sapphire Reserve there. Even though it has so many credits, they are a pain to use. The thing is, and you have to understand context, Chase Reserve did not used to compete as directly with the Platinum. The Platinum was to this luxury audience, so they were throwing credits, they were charging high fees. Chase, I would say, was kind of the mid-tier. What Chase wants to do with the Reserve is step up here. But the thing is, I really don't think the brand perception is there. And by throwing in these credits, again, I'm going back to even just the dining credit. Okay, $300 dining, I like that. 100 in the first half, 150 in the second half. I love that. But it only qualifies for Chase Reserve tables, and in Boston, I only have 8. Again, you're telling me the obvious, which is you want to give credits, but you don't actually want me to use them so you can make money off of me, which is fine, but it's almost too obvious. Couldn't it be a dining credit that maybe extends to, I don't know, 10 restaurants or at least 20, but it's 8 in Boston for me? And then again, the DoorDash one is really the one that gets my goat. 25 a month, but it's 5, 10, 10. Yeah, no, absolute third by a long shot in terms of what they're signaling and what they're trying to do. Coming in at second, I'm gonna give it to the Capital One Venture X. Even though it's not bells and whistles, it's simple. You get it. $300 travel credit through the Capital One travel portal, $100 anniversary credit, easy enough to understand, 400 bucks of credits, and then you got the transfer partners, which they all have, and the no foreign transaction fee. It's just a really simple thing, don't even have to think about it. And coming in number one, of course, is gonna be the American Express Platinum, which honestly was a shocker to me as I look at it, because this card for the longest time was like the poster child of what we call a coupon book. Credits, credits, credits. Can't really value them, can't really use them, so difficult. But this time around, it's put in credits in quote unquote coupons, not really coupons, that actually are very valuable. And a lot more people can get more value from them. And there's a lot more that you can take advantage of. What makes it really shine though is also gonna be those lounge access. Section 4. Annual fee. Capital One Venture X. It has a current annual fee of $395. But remember though, effectively, there's that $300 travel credit and a $100 anniversary credit you get every year. So you have $400 of credits, you pay $395. In effect, you're paying, or I guess rather you're getting paid back $5 back into your pocket, which is just so insane to me at this level. You go back 4 years, unheard of. Absolutely no one does it. And the fact that you can make out positive $5, love that all day. Next, the Chase Sapphire Reserve has a whopping $795 annual fee. However, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. It does have some pretty solid credits you can use to offset it. So there's the $300 travel credit, the $300 StubHub credit, the $120 Lyft credit, and a $60 credit to DoorDash. Basically, it's that $5 for restaurants every single month, because I'm just gonna ignore the $20 in increments of 10 for grocery and retail. It's just not valuable. So if I add up all the useful credits that most people can use, it's $780 worth of credits. So you pay $795 for something, it gives you back $780. Not bad, actually. You're basically only effectively paying $15 a year for this card. Of course, if you take advantage of the other credits that are available, you could come out net positive. But again, I'm trying to talk to as broad of an audience as possible who can take advantage of the most kind of generic common credits. It's gonna be paying effectively $15 a year for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now for the American Express Platinum. This card has a whopping annual fee of $895. And as for useful credits that most people can use to offset that, we have the $400 Resi credit, the $300 digital entertainment credit, as well as the $200 Uber credit. If we add all of that up, in effect, most people are gonna get about $900 worth of credits from this card. So you pay $895, you get $900 back, you are basically positive $5 into your pocket. However, with the Platinum, it speaks to a certain market segment that is probably a little bit more geared towards luxury, high-end. And so it wouldn't be crazy to think maybe they find a way to take advantage of the Lululemon credit for just even 1 quarter. That's another $75 back to you. So that's now getting quote unquote paid $80. But if you take advantage of the full Lululemon credit, now it's $1,200 of credits coming back. And then personally, I've actually already found use cases for that $600 hotel credit as $300 in the first half, $300 in the second half. If we were to just throw that on, that's $1,800 worth of credits. So the Platinum is definitely way easier to overshoot on the value, but at the base case, I'd say it's plus $5 for most people. So how would I rank it? Coming in at third for annual fee is gonna be the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You effectively still have to pay for the card, most people. Coming in at second, I'm gonna give that to the Capital One Venture X, because the $5 in effect that you get paid for the card is locked. You really can't go over that. And so that means at number one for annual fee, we're gonna give it to the American Express Platinum. Even though base case for most people is effectively getting paid $5 for the card, you have so much potential to overshoot that. I mean, personally, I did it out for me this year. I shop at Lululemon, I'm getting an Aura ring. I add up all the credits I'm actually gonna end up using from the Platinum in the first year that I'm having it with the refresh benefits. I'm effectively getting paid. It's like $1,200. To have this card. It's kind of insane, and I don't really want to say it because maybe some American Express executive sees this and is like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that, but it's actually cooked. Do I think this is gonna be a thing for a very long time? No, I think at some point American Express is like, hey, we're giving too much, we need to pull back. Until that time, take advantage of this. So now let's go ahead and look at our final verdict as well as recommendations. The point scoring system we'll use is for every first place is 3 points, second place, 2 points, and third place is only 1 point. With all of that tallied up, we have a decided winner here for 2026 as the #1 travel card with 10 points is going to be, to no one's surprise, although maybe to some people's surprise, actually maybe a little bit to my surprise, before this refresh at least, which just recently happened in September. Anyway, the winner is the American Express Platinum. Woo! Woo! Now, the thing is, the American Express Platinum has always kind of been this top contender luxury travel card, and over the years, it's kind of gone downhill. More annual fee, more useless credits, more annual fee, more useless credits. And what's really coming up really hard has been the Venture X, and then Chase has kind of just held their own. But this recent revamp has absolutely put the Platinum back into pace for number one. The amount of value this card is giving out right now, today, like I said earlier in the annual fee section, is absolutely unmatched. Is it free? Are they just gonna actually pay you money for it? No, guys, they are not going to actually pay you money for it. But in this game that we enjoy, in this hobby that we enjoy, or in life, if you want something and something gives you outsized value, you need to work for it. You do need to do some things for it. Some cards make doing the thing easier than others. The Platinum, as we can see today, makes it honestly that much easier to get that much more outsized value versus the other cards. Therefore, it is the number one travel card of 2026 when compared to the Capital Venture X as well as the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, coming in at second, we actually have a two-way tie between the Venture X and the Sapphire Reserve. And here's how I would think about this. These cards are close and they're tying for second, but the Venture X, I would say, is an all-arounder card. If you are a simple person, you're kind of like, you know what? I know I travel a lot, I fly a lot, I want some lounge access, I want some transfer partners, but I really don't want to play this game, John. This 4x, 5x, transfer here, I don't want to do it. This credit thing, I don't want to do it. The Venture X is your friend. It is simple. It is literally KISS. Keep it simple. You know the last word. Whereas the Sapphire Reserve, you're going to have to do a lot of work. Like, a lot of work, like really hard work that I don't even want to do. And so even though in the points it's tied, I would personally give the edge to the Venture X. This is a lot more easier recommendation for me to someone who's kind of like, yeah, like, I don't know, maybe this, maybe that. Venture X, no harm, no foul. I know you're not gonna lose money on it. Whereas the Sapphire Reserve, if I just recommended someone to it and they didn't know that, okay, if I book with the dining, it's only for these select restaurants. If I do the DoorDash, it's only here. If I do the edits, it's gotta be 2 at minimum. It's an absolute nightmare. Actually, absolute nightmare. And so I would actually rank that as a third. Honestly, if I could, I'd give it a distant third, but I can't because the points say it's 7 and it's tied for second. And so the Sapphire Reserve though is a third for me. I honestly, I don't know, this is the end of the video, so I can just maybe rant a little bit. I'm just butthurt about it. I remember getting the Sapphire Reserve in 2016. It was the first viral travel credit card. It was my first luxury travel credit card. Absolutely loved it. I told my friends, my family, I was singing praises for about 2016 to like 2021 when the Venture X came out, my number one travel card. It was the go-getter. So simple, so easy, 3x on travel. You get these credits. Oh my God, it's incredible. Venture X come on the scene. Hey, we're gonna just give you $5 effective for a card. Holy, interesting. Yep. That one. And so guess what? My opinion changed because times change, products change. We're on to the Venture X. And now we're on this third phase where American Express Platinum, I mean, they were long forgotten about, have come back, rip roaring, taking back the number one crown from both of them. And yeah, I just think I'm a little butthurt because I guess my original first card I ever had, I do have a soft spot in my heart for it, but it is very much no longer really even the dialogue for most people as a travel card contender. You honestly would be better off looking at American Express Platinum or the Venture X. Cool, folks, and if you are looking for that non-public, elevated, going as high as 175,000 points, link is in the bio. Go ahead, check it out. And remember the pro tip, if you haven't had the Platinum before or the Gold, get the Amex Gold first and then the Platinum so you can get 2 bonuses versus just jumping straight to the Platinum and then not being able to ever get that American Express Gold bonus. Comments, questions down there as well. This has been an incredible video. Let me know, do you think differently? Are you more Team Chase or Platinum or Venture X? Let me know in the comment section there and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.